So we start obviously where my customer would start, which is on my website. And as they scroll down on my website, one of the first things that they see is this invitation to start your free 7-lesson interactive personalized email course where they can learn in 30 minutes how to build a marketing engine that impacts sales. There's 3 things that I'm hoping that they'll tell me to start this course: their first name, their email address, and their role in their organization. So I typically do business with marketing professionals, sales professionals, executives, and consultants or business owners. I'm holding off on the component for the consultant. I'm going to build that a little later. So for now, I'm working to attract interest from these 3 personas: the marketing pro, the sales pro, and the executive. And this introduces my first sort of integration into another tool in my technology stack, which would just be Gravity Forms. So this form is driven by Gravity Forms on my WordPress site. Nothing very interesting here. It's a very boring form. It has some CSS styling to make it so it's inline the way that it is, but it starts to really put things into play by integrating with Drip. And so the integration that I have with Drip is it's going to talk to Drip to create or update a subscriber to my account. And the custom fields that I want to target are first name, obviously, and then role. So I've created a custom field inside of Drip called role. And then one other thing happens that's really important, and that is as soon as they hit submit, then this subscriber gets tagged with MMM course and role. So MMM is really my prefix for a lot of things happening with this marketing that makes money course. So let's dive into Drip and I can show you what's happening there. So here we are inside of Drip. Love Drip because it feels like designers were on hand when they built this thing, whereas a lot of other tools that I've used feel very much like they're built by engineers. So they're complex, they're difficult to work with, they're bloated. Drip is simple in the right ways and allows complexity in the right ways. And as a Drip certified consultant, I had some exposure to their team and really enjoyed some of the people that I got to interface with. So anyway, a lot of reasons to love Drip, and I was very excited after working with so many client projects to really dive into something on my own website. Let me show you just a little bit about how this email course works. This is the course proper. There's a container that kind of drives it. There's a few things that I would like to bring attention to so that I can talk more about them later. One of the first things you get is this email, this action required email. And in that email, I'm asking them to help me customize it by choosing a trigger link. So I've got a lot of if-else stuff going on. Rather than funneling through different forks inside of the workflow, I use a lot of if-else so that I can use a single message, but do a lot of different things with it. So they'll click one of these trigger links, and that will tell me their purpose. So there's really 3 points of information that I really want to know from somebody taking the course so that I can deeper personalize this for them. And if they do nothing else, at least with these 3 things, I can do some pretty cool things down the road. So as you saw from the form, I just need their first name and the role that they play in their organization: marketing pro, sales pro, executive. And then what is the purpose? What's the thing that really drove them here? So the email looks like this. So this is Eric, the executive, and he signed up for the course, and so he's going to get these 3 questions that are unique to him. I've got a little typo here, but that's been fixed. I have multiple questions, but they all kind of go to only 4 destinations. They either want to focus on lead generation, they want to focus on strategy, they want to focus on the relationship between sales and marketing, or they want to focus on what I call aspirational sales pro or aspirational sales skills, which is using sort of some of these modern marketing techniques to become a better sales professional. So those are the only 4 purposes that they can declare, and they're assigned to one of these questions. Back in Drip, it looks like this. So I've created a number of rules in Drip to help me identify what they've done. So in this case, those are links, trigger links inside the email. Once they click the one that they want, a couple things happen. I'm going to send them to a destination URL. I'll show you that in a minute. But then I'm going to give them a tag of their purpose. MMM purpose equals, in this case, it was lead to sales. He's interested in better connecting his marketing and his sales strategies. I'm also going to record a custom event, which is that his purpose has been defined. So those are the things that I'm going to do. What the user sees is this page, which is just a little Star Wars in there. Yee-hoo, you're all clear, kid. I'll show you later how I've customized his first name. Check your inbox. Lesson 1 is on the way. So that's what happens at the other end of that rule being executed. But back in Drip, with that purpose defined, I can move along in the course. One other thing I thought I'd share with you before I left this was just this quick content snippet that I created. It's just another if-else that lets me use the word executive and put an in front of it versus putting an A in front of sales executive or marketing pro. So I can say if you are an executive or if you are a marketing pro or sales pro. And so that's convenient. It lets me just put one little snippet in and I can speak grammatically proper to 3 different types of people. And looking back at Eric's email, that's what we have right there, facing as an executive. And so here is what that workflow looks like. Lots of different things happening. Once they complete an email or a lesson, then I send them to a worksheet. So here's lesson 1, and when Eric gets his first lesson, he's gonna go through it. And at the end of the lesson is a link to a worksheet. When he clicks that button, I'm gonna send him to a special page, and I'm gonna also send along inside the URL his email address. And that lets me then track him inside of the form. Everything he's doing is going to continue to add to his profile that I have with Drip. So here I'm blurring out this email address. But it's right there. It asks them to double check their email, make sure it's all good. But it's auto-populated with whatever their email address is inside as a subscriber of Drip. So inside each form, I ask a few questions in the way that I position the worksheet. This is just another gravity form. The way that I position the worksheet is I ask them to really kind of reflect on some realities that they're facing and then take some action or commit to some action. And I also encourage them to share their worksheets with others in their organization as discussion starters. And then on many lessons, I will ask them to make a commitment. And so one of the questions I'll say is, how can you commit to improving? Or what can you specifically do right now to change this? What I do with that then is 3 months or 6 months or a year down the road, I will send them an email with this commitment that they said. And I said, hey, do you remember when you made this commitment? How's it going? And in that way, I can continue a conversation and I can bring back to them wherever they were when they took this course, because we all get, busy and things get more important or our priorities change. And I want to bring them back into this. So it'll be a great way for me to reach out to them, continue some outreach and some nurturing, just relationship nurturing, not even thinking about business, but just, you came here because of a pain. Let's talk about your commitments to what you're learning that can help you address those pains. And are you still doing it down the road? And then I ask them some questions about that are related to the lesson. So when they send me that information, here you see I've got a custom field for industry. So as they fill out that form, that information on the gravity form and other information, it gets recorded here, and then I can continue to use it to personalize the course. So that's basically it. The course kind of repeats itself again and again like that. If they finish a worksheet, I'll send them the next lesson right away. If they don't, I'll wait a day and I'll send it to them. So they could take a week to finish this course, or they could take half an hour. It's up to them. Really, one of the ultimate goals of the entire thing is to schedule this consultation through Calendly. So I'm not going to introduce Calendly or talk at all about Calendly. It's another part of my marketing stack with this, my technology stack. And it is the thing that I'm trying to drive them to. And if they schedule my consultation, I'll pull them out of certain parts of this. So I don't want to promote to somebody who has already done what I've asked them to do. Again, that's not what we're after with personalization. We want to know what somebody's doing and then respond to that in the right way. So I'm going to give them something else if they've scheduled a consultation. Now, something that happens when somebody does create a Calendly appointment with me is I wait 5 minutes. I have a rule set up where I wait 5 minutes and then I send them this workflow, or I put them into this workflow, the Calendly qualifier. And so I wait just 5 minutes to make that happen. I want this to hit their inbox while their inertia around taking this action is high. And then I send this email that is preparing for our upcoming conversation, where I have 6 kind of getting started questions. And in some ways, these are qualifying questions. I talk a little bit about pricing in there that gives them one more opportunity to say this isn't for me, so that nobody's wasting their time. But also these are 6 maybe questions that would start the first 15 minutes of a 30-minute consultation. I want to get those out of the way if I can in an email ahead of our conversation, so that we can spend that half hour just really diving into some opportunities together, so that this Calendly conversation that we have, this 30 minutes, isn't just kicking tires, but it's really, let's get some specifics around what you have in mind and what clear next steps are.